Redditors, how has your high school crush turned out? The last time this was posted, I realized I hadn't seen her on any form of social media ever, so I did some digging. I found out that she's living in a huge suburban house by herself that's owned by a descendant of an old mob boss. So my guess is that she's a mafia mistress living the high life. My hometown actually had quite a number of single women living alone in houses like this, and it was almost always some sort of arrangement like this. She's dating a grader loser who wastes all his time on Reddit posting about Duck Geese and Shrek and stuff. She's working on her PhD. She's a scientist. She studies bees. Reading a book in the living room. Aging like fine wine. Going on 20 years. She a lesbian and now she banging my ex from college, and I think I'll just have another bowl of ice cream now. She is my wife and the mother of our 2 children. Had a crush for a year, then graduated and she did meth, which was an instant vibe killer. He died in the last Star Wars movie. She's a fairly successful environmental biologist now. Married. I wish her the best. We tried dating but weren't compatible. Dated for a while. She cheated on me. No more crush lol. We dated for a while but it wasn't working, so we broke up. Then I set her up with a friend of mine and they got married right out of high school. While I took off to college, he got a trade job, and they had 3 kids. Couldn't be happier for them. He became a moderately successful filmmaker and moved to a big city. I always felt some kinda nostalgia towards him. Like he was the one that got away or something like that. Out of the blue he contacted me when he was back visiting family in our small seaside town a couple of years back. We ended up getting super high on the moonlit beach, reminiscing about school day shenanigans, and that one time we played tonsil tennis on the geography field trip in year 9. Long story short, we ended up hooking up on the beach. During the act, as we were trying to navigate the sand and my paranoia that we were about to be caught, he whispered in my ear, "Remember this moment when you're back to your humdrum existence." Never pulled my tights up so fast in my life. Needless to say, this encounter somewhat demystified the 20-year sliding doors sentiments I'd felt for him. Turns out he'd turned out to be a bit of a twat. I had a lot of high school crushes. They mostly turned out gay. He stopped talking to me, removed me on social media, and now has a girlfriend. Loser. Gay. Became a redneck. Now enjoys mudding, camo, riding in lifted trucks, and other redneck things. He liked me back and we've been dating for several years now. Murdered at his 18-day party. The rest, no idea. She's the department manager for a clothing store franchise last I heard. Seems like she's doing well. She's got a long-term partner and she's aged very well. I'm very happy for her. She ignored me for a decade. Then we saw each other at a concert and she made out with me, apparently to make her current BF jealous. I moved away. She randomly messages me another year later to say she always had a crush on me and that she wanted to see me, and then killed herself a month later. He's a doctor. Bumped into him when my dad was admitted. I was still nervous talking to him. He's grown taller, more muscular, and he's now a bloody doctor. Who wouldn't start stammering? My siblings started laughing at me though, saying I couldn't even talk properly when meeting an old friend. They don't know it. They don't know he's the guy I have a crush on. They don't even know I don't like girls. Husband and we have 2 kids. I looked up her name a couple years ago. It took me to a website for someone's wedding. There were pictures, but years had passed so I couldn't be sure it was her. It did kind of resemble her, and it was the same first name. I hope it worked out. Not bad. Not bad. Married 43 years as of this coming Tuesday. Dead. He crashed into an 18-wheeler a year after graduation. The other one is a vet tech. She's apparently engaged now, so good for her. He died in a car accident. He never knew he was my crush. He was my best friend. Married 26 years. Have an 11-year boy. So turned out great. Joke's on you. I still have a crush on Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. She's an influencer, so I'll see her every time I'll open any social media. I married him last October. She just graduated last year and I'm now a senior. We've been dating for 5.5 months now. We've been together for around 8 or 9 years now. Like we started around sophomore year. Took a break after graduation. Then she came back in 2015 and we got back together. Our relationship's never been stronger. And we essentially already proposed to each other. We haven't publicly proposed, but the two of us consider each other their fiancé. We're just trying to get enough money now so we're not financially left in a creek after the wedding. Edit. Wow. I've never gotten this many upvotes on anything anywhere before. Thanks guys. Her and I have been married for 3 weeks as of yesterday. D. He's a happily married high school teacher with an adorable baby. I'm happy for him. My tastes have gradually shifted and there's no wistfulness at all. I mean, I'm still in high school, but we seem to be going great. His family loves me, particularly obvious when I saw his mom drunk the other day. He's doing much better than most people we graduated with. He became an engineer, does immensely well for himself, and has a very happy life. Of course he would disagree when I shove my freezing toes on him in the winter, but he hasn't divorced me over it yet. She kept leading me on and then rejecting me for 2 years. At the freshman dance, I was about to go ask her to dance with me, and some other dude swooped in and asked her first. Then another girl who I was friends with asked me to dance. We dated for the rest of high school. No idea what the other chick is up to. She was crazy hot but treated me like garbage. Duck her. Not too bad. Celebrated 41 years of marriage this year. Together since 1975. She's sitting next to me on the couch talking it about people on Flip or Flop. She's still beautiful, intelligent, funny and has the same horrible taste in men that she did in high school. Also still with me. Plays for a well-known national rugby team. Good on him. She invited me to her 15, personally, and I just didn't go. I forget if I was self-conscious or uninterested. I do remember being really sad and just not going. That Monday, she asked why I didn't go, and I just said I didn't want to. A week later, she got with one of her other friends and they ended up getting married. She's an elementary school teacher. She always loved kids and just had her second baby. They have been together 16 years. All I ever do is get in the way. Ran into her in a restaurant. Turns out she is a waitress. She got fat and had a bunch of illegitimate kids. She actually just messaged me on Facebook recently. She turned out pretty hot, but she's absolutely insufferable. She's one of those that shares 10-20 posts a day about how she can't find a good guy. Last I checked, he's a college dropout, drug addict who is obsessed with festivals, plur, and frat-themed Instagram pages. She became a nurse and works in some hospital somewhere in Colorado. One is an airline pilot, one an office manager for an industrial supply company. He got in serious problems, did drugs, went to prison etc. Got his GF pregnant. He decided to change after he saw his newborn daughter. He decided to find a job, study and be a great father. He got custody of his daughter while her mother was trying to leave the drugs, and after that they got shared custody. Now he is happily married, has 2 children with his wife, has an excellent relationship with his daughter and her mother. Randomly had the urge to look her up when I returned from living outside the country a few years ago. She had passed away 3 months earlier from cancer. She's still teaching at the high school. Wound up marrying her. She decided she wanted a new boyfriend. Sue. We divorced. She died. I didn't. The end. Drugs. Shame. She was stunning. Had 2 kids by junior year. Lost both of them to the state. Dropped out days before graduation. Drugs. And now has 4 more kids. She lives outside my neighborhood and I see her at the gas station every now and then. I have no idea. Do people normally keep track? It worked out amazingly well at first, but I ended it because I couldn't. Still can't TBQH, accept the fact that I was gay. We went out twice, had great chemistry, and I never knew why. 30 years later, 2018, I got the courage to ask and settle a thing that has bugged forever. He's a science professor at a major university. Was good to catch up via Facebook. He had been dating someone for 5 years at that point, and last month, he finally proposed. He's gay. I gotta say, since he rejected me for many long years, it's kind of a relief. Very successful, but he's now dating the girl who cheated on him in high school again. One of the reasons I stopped dating him is cause he peaked socially in high school, lol. Junior high girlfriend got pregnant in HS. Not by me. Junior high crush got pregnant right after HS. We've been together 16 years now and married for almost 9 years. I couldn't be happier. Well, my best friend broke the bro code and unicorn code and began dating him as soon as I dropped out. Shoved it in my face. Spread lies about me. All the good stuff. They dated for about 3 months. When his dad got full custody and he had to move away. Now he's a Trump troglodyte, completely anti-LGBTQ despite the fact the majority of our friend group were part of the community, via being an ally or queer, completely anti-women's rights, pro-church and state combined, all the good stuff. Turns out being with his dad, the epitome of white trash, completely warped him. So, yeah, not good. Dodged a major bullet. Even though it only happened because my friend dated the one person I've ever had a crush on. After dating for a short time in high school, we decided to stay as friends. Still talk on occasion, and she's in the process of getting her PhD, which is awesome. Awesome. Been happily married to him since 1992. Great. I'll be marrying her in June. I married her after 11 years of dating and living together. We finally tied the knot last September. We're celebrating our first anniversary in 2 weeks. I couldn't be happier. She quit school, got married soon afterwards and had 3 kids. Got divorced, still living with her parents. Been engaged to 9 different guys over the past 20 years. Finally married the last one. She's got Mountain Dew mouth. Google it. She hasn't stayed at any one job more than a couple of years. Never worked anything better than working in a warehouse.